The next show that SLDC will be doing is probably one of the biggest they've ever done in SL, one of the biggest I've ever seen for certain. It's the Nutcracker, the complete ballet, or virtually the complete ballet. There's a few little bits that have been taken out because basically they're impossible to do in SL as it stands. It's going to be one hell of a show. The amount of rehearsal that's going on is huge. The amount of people that are actually involved in it, phenomenal amounts, loads of scripting, loads of dancers, and each of the dancers have to be absolutely spot on. You can imagine the amount of rehearsal it takes to get that. There's not that much difference between doing this in real life in a theatre and doing it in SL. Okay, so the movements are actually animations that people are running themselves, but that's about the only difference. You still have to learn all your positioning, all of your moves and everything else. It's absolutely huge, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, the final finished item.
The idea came last fall, and the actual beginning to talk about it happened this spring. It goes from there to thinking about sets, thinking about the music, because it is such an integral thing that we're having to work together as a group. Even though they're choreographers and doing one part, they're doing one part of a whole. They're going to have to work really closely with each other.
Sham and I met with Carol. She gave us the overview, what her expectations were, what her vision was, and gave us some material to look over. I'm going to be playing the part of Mr. Dresselmeyer, something like that, ringmaster of the evening for the Nutcracker. We've got some issues to deal with as far as how we can do it in Second Life. We have some limitations. We can't do it like a real live dance company would do it. So we're going to have to figure out how we can simulate that or how we can replace it with suitable compromises.
I'm really having a good time choreographing. It's a whole different level of stress. It's a whole different level of commitment. It's a whole different level of applying yourself to something new. I might spend a whole day or 2 days or 3 days shopping and buying just, 2 or 3 animations that actually work for what I'm trying to put together. I'm doing my best to take those animations and turn them around and have people going this way and that way, making it really exciting, something different, something you've never seen before. Every Saturday, I have my real life scheduled around being available here for that hour or hour and a half that we have set aside. I mean, it's really a commitment for personal excellence, but also a commitment to others that you care about. So that's how it works.
When Carol first said that we were going to do this Nutcracker, I thought, my God, that's crazy. And then she told me I'm Fritz. I'm the little bratty boy. Well, that was kind of exciting, except we don't do movers for that. We have to actually get on stage and walk around. When we meet, we can only do so much at a time. Every scene has got to be blocked out. Even the scene where I steal my little sister's doll, that took hours and hours on Red and Kiko's parts to find the animations, coordinate the animations, for me to actually get across the room and us to have a fight and me to grab that Nutcracker out of her hand and then go slinking back, ashamed of myself, on the sides. People have no idea how many hours of work it takes, not just when we're all meeting together, but each individual group who's doing a dance or a part of a scene to meet separately. It's just amazing the time investment that people will put into this, but it's because they all love dance.
I'm actually playing the Nutcracker in the Nutcracker production, so I'll be the doll that turns into a prince, playing those different roles that the Nutcracker has throughout the production. I got kind of lucky, really, because that's kind of a neat part to have, I believe. We meet weekly for hours, every week. We have been for a couple of months now. There's hours and hours and hours of work that go on in between those meetings. People building sets, people organizing and putting together animations, people organizing and putting together movement and choreography, people organizing and creating costumes and creating parts of the set that we're going to use. Carol came up with a concept, and she's got a lot of great ideas, and she's been involved with the Nutcracker, I guess, many, many times in her life. She's seen some very good productions of it, and she wants ours to be one of those good ones. And there's some neat things that we can do in SL that can't be done in real life, and she's pushing those boundaries, which I think adds to the entertainment and adds to the fantasy of the show. And I think it'll be a really good performance when it finally releases at the end of November.
I was assigned the role of Clara. It's a lot of acting, really. It's kind of pantomime. The first act, there's a lot of moving parts. In the first scene, there's a part where there's a bunch of mice that are running around, kind of threatening and fighting with toy soldiers. The people who are running those HUDs have to be brought together with their characters, and then I'll have to see how I'm going to fit in with that before I can figure out where to put my character and how I'll move around. But I did get some basic animations to use for that. There's an animation that I'm going to use when the mice are around and they're scary looking. Mice are coming, and I'm really getting scared here. All these mice, getting nervous.
When Carol and I first started talking about the Waltz of the Snowflakes, she had shown me various videos on YouTube, and I've seen the Nutcracker in real life. Everyone does the Waltz of the Snowflakes a little different. Some are very flowing, very lyrical type of dance work, and the one we had been looking at and the one that we both liked was a more angular, more crisp dances in RL. And we decided that that was kind of the vision that we would go for. I'm going to be dancing the part of the Ice Queen. Kaliki and Charm are my ice princesses, and the core basically is the snowflakes. When you see the dance, the snowflakes come, the ice comes, then we'll all be together, the snow comes down. How do you get something like that on a stage in SL? You know, I have 7 different groups going within my dance HUD. The core, there's the princesses, there's my group, and when I say groups, it's like groups of animations. It was a lot to pull together, but it's turned out really good, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's going to be an amazing show from start to finish.
And give you an idea of the different ways this dance is done, so that you can get an idea of the style and then see what you can do about creating that. And also, I want the two of you to communicate and coordinate your feelings about what kind of animations, what you might do. In other words, it'll be kind of a collaboration between the two of you working together. What I'm doing here is giving you the character of the dance. I don't expect you to copy it. You can't copy it because you don't have all those animations. But you can come close to the feel of these different things. Share your ideas so that you come up with something even better.
Well, the role I've been assigned is a wonderful role. It's a big part, a large part, enormously big, actually. The ginger dance. But I'm not sure if that's a dance. It's a part. there are lots of things going on before such a show is on stage. So I've been asked to create Hat and the head of Nutcracker to change and script it. So that's fun, and that's a really interesting part of whole SDLC. Each show, something coming from above, something from behind, something disappearing, appearing. It's always something magical, like the whole show.
Sooner or later, someone in SL was going to do the Nutcracker. Why not it be SLDC? Why not? We're as ready now as we're ever going to be. I think we're doing a pretty good job. I'm sure everyone in the company is anxious to get on the stage.
One last thing, we need to appreciate everything that Carol does. She has a genius, literally a genius, when it comes to bringing together technology and artistry. So what you're seeing every time one of these performances is put on the stage is that combination that goes together to produce the genius that she offers us. She could not do it if she did not have the experience of all the other performances. And she could not do it if she did not have the loyalty and skill of the dancers. Hold on to your chairs. You're going to see a transformative experience that takes you into a world where it's easy to suspend disbelief. It's also a world that will completely disengage you from your first world of distance. It's going to be something very, very special.